contacts as well will help. I will tell you now, obviously we have Academy brokers that are accredited to do this, but they only work with people that are part of the Academy. Okay, you can be a member of the Academy and they'll do it, for you. Outside that, or we can train you, etc., how to educate other brokers how to do it for you. Does that make sense? You shouldn't have to train brokers how to do it, but unfortunately it's a bit like that, okay? But the key is getting yourself educated, okay? Some of you will be able to watch a video, etc., and take that away, and that'll show you how to do it in more detail.
Yeah, I've joined the Academy. How much does that cost?
About $25,000. No, I'm just joking, okay? His heart's like, okay. Okay, I'll tell you that at the end. I want to go through more strategies first, if you want to find out about that, okay? It's a question I'm assuming is, how many times on average would your shares be sold in this example? On average is about, it's going to vary on your portfolio. Statistically across the board, about 8 to 9 times out of 10 won't be sold. Okay, so 1 or 2 times out of 10 your shares will be sold. Now I sometimes do a little bit more aggressive. I don't mind my shares being sold. Like last month on some of the shares I was doing this with, I rented them out. I made about, I think it was about 70 to 80 cents rental. Okay, so every 1,000 shares of those, that's $700 to $800 in cash. They were sold. The share price went up and they were sold. They were sold at 80 cents above what I paid for them. So I made another 80 cents plus the around 80 cents I made. That was $1.60 for that month. Okay, let me show you a little bit more. Okay, and I'll take a couple more questions. What we're going to look at is how you can speed up, the income. The highest, let me give you a best case example. The highest rental I've been able to get is around $1.50. You don't get that every month, but that was sort of the highest. And last year there was many months on some shares you could consistently do that on. $1.50 rental. Would you like to know how to get a brand new $100,000 motor vehicle for virtually free? Anyone interested in knowing how to do that? Okay, well, we'll cover it tomorrow night. Look at it. Let's say you have a car. Who has a car? Raise your hand if you got a car. Okay, here's what you're going to do. Let's say you sell your car. So you sell your car, and you need to come up with, say, 16 grand. Hopefully, if your car's worth anything, you'll get 16 grand for it. If it's not, you're going to have to save some money or get it from elsewhere to come up with 16 grand. You take that $16,000 and you buy 1,000 shares. Okay? And let's say you want your dream car is, say, a BMW 328 Emerald Blue convertible, for instance. Okay, $100,000 motor vehicle. That will cost you, so you can pay cash for that, but that's an asset that drops in value, so you might want to tie up your cash, or you could finance it. A BMW like that will cost you about $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month, say on finance. Whatever your car is going to be, okay? And that means you're going to need to come up with, say, $1,100 a month. If you bought 1,000 shares, in this example, some months you can get rentals as high as $1.50. That means $1.50 by 1,000 shares gives you how much for that month? $1,500. You're not going to get that every month. You're not going to rent them out every single month because some months you're not going to. You could technically, but 6 to 9 months a year is more realistic. You could take that and use that to pay off the car. If you did that long enough to pay off your car eventually becomes virtually free. Does that make sense? If it works with a car, what about a boat? Maybe. So the concept of saying, let's say look at the best rentals here. So when I talk about, an example of Whistler, to generate $4,500, in that example, was as little as 3,000 shares. 3,000 shares at $1.50 rental generates $4,500. Does that make sense? Now that's a best case example. Okay. However, even if you halve those returns, you're still looking where you can go 1,000 to 3,000 shares. Those shares will only cost around $60,000. You do the numbers on that. $60,000 for those sort of returns. Okay? But let's say you had to have $100,000 worth of shares to generate that sort of return most months of the year. Who would consider being able, who could replace their income on $4,500? Who could go close at least? Okay? Some of you could keep on working, etc. But $4,500 a month, the question is, How many shares do you need to do that? That's going to vary depending on your skill level, okay, depending on what shares you do it on. And you'll be able to generate, it's a consistent form of income. The banks will let you use it, okay, as income to be able to borrow more money. So some people have assets but no income. The banks won't let them borrow money. You get income, the banks will let you borrow money, so you can use more of your assets as well, okay? So if you look at that as $4,500 a month, you can do a lot with that, okay? A $4,500 a month will pay for $1 million home, okay, monthly repayments. If you wanted a new home or something, you can start to use money more effectively. Repeat after me. Something to think about.